essential for survival. Those who spoke with Ogtv News cited similar reasons, agreeing that homosexuality should be prohibited not only in the military but across society. Nkam Agu has the details in this report.
The federal government has approved a ban on homosexuality within Nigeria's military. This directive also extends to lesbianism, bestiality, cross-dressing, and other behaviors deemed contrary to the ethics of the armed forces. In addition, military personnel are now prohibited from engaging in body piercing, tattooing, disorderly conduct, and drunkenness, both on and off duty. The revised guidelines are outlined in Section 2 was signed by President Bola Tinubu on December 16, 2024. Retired military personnel have praised the ban, describing it as a commendable step towards upholding discipline and moral standards within the armed forces.
Naturally, all these sexism, whether lesbianism and the others, they are not natural and they are not human. Even animals do not practice it. And because of humanity that God gives us, we are above other animals, we can control that. How can we relegate ourselves below animal? I mean, not in the sense of science when you say animal lovers, no. So it's a highly welcome action, idea, and decision policy that the federal government has done.
It's a very, very good because it has not been happening in the army before, and it is not now that it will now start happening. And we are struggling to at least to live morally. So for someone now to not bring homosexuality in the army, no, this cannot all go well.
Because
the federal government took a very good decision banning homosexuality. Things like that has no place in the military.
They also shared their views, expressing hope that the enforcement of these rules would effectively address the issue within the military.
Gallant soldiers, they have been doing well, but I advise them to continue and to do their good jobs and rededicate their performance, their energy to what they are doing. Government is trying, they too are performing.
So I have to advise whosoever that has it in mind to be doing it, that person should just zero into our mind and look for something that can make Nigeria to be greater than what we are now.
Thank you. However, the revised directive does not specify the disciplinary measures or punishment for personnel found in violation of these rules. Nkam Agu, Ogtv News.
Let me ask you a question. What's holding you back? Is it the pressure of your job, the demands of your education, or your ability to connect with the world? Is it the access to the right information? Are you lost? Is it your location, or where you live, or how far you are away from the opportunities? Maybe it's your language, your culture, or your traditions. Again, I ask you, what's holding you back?
Unlimited data from Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Whoever, wherever you are, stay connected. Stay limitless. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Glad to have you back. The news continues. Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has dissolved the State Executive Council with immediate effect. The dissolution announced on Wednesday exempts two cabinet members, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Dr. Kayode Ajulo, and Commissioner for Finance, Mrs. Omowumi Isaac, due to the critical nature of the duties. In a statement issued by the governor's chief press secretary, Ebenezer Adenio, the affected officials were directed to hand over all government properties in their possession to the accounting officers of their respective ministries. Ayedatiwa expressed gratitude to the outgoing cabinet members for their contributions to the state's development during their tenure, wishing them success in their future endeavors. On Monday, January 13th, the former Speaker of the Lagos State, 52-year-old Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, was impeached after serving as Speaker for 10 years. His removal, attributed to allegations of gross misconduct and abuse of office, marks a significant moment in the state's political history. Many Nigerians have applauded the Lagos State House of Assembly for this decisive act.
Who made history as the first female Speaker of the House, has been sworn in to take his place. The removal of Honorable Obasa, who had held the position for a decade, follows persistent allegations of financial impropriety and abuse of office. Despite his numerous political achievements, these allegations untimely ended his leadership. This is not the first.
I mean, one would have expected 20 or 30% of the assemblymen to still be on the side of Mr. Speaker, but you now see that it was also, there are a lot of things that could be going underneath. Some people were saying probably it's 2077 election that is trying to come up, and probably Mr. Speaker is interested in contesting and things like that. I learned that Mr. Governor was at the House of Assembly complex for almost 4 hours waiting for Mr. Speaker to convene his people so that he can present the budget. That is uncalled for.
Nigerians have pointed to issues such as mismanagement of public funds, abuse of power, and disregard for due process as recurring problems.
Yes, miscalculate. You see, when in politics, you must be up and doing at all time. And when your elders or party men are calling you to order, you must try to fall in line.
There is always a law that binds every House of Assembly. So if the Speaker has breached that law, they let it be. If it does not, they let him appeal to the courts.
Many believe this trend underscores the need for reforms.
Mandate belongs to the people. So whenever the people decide to use the mandate, you cannot stop the people from using it. So the impeachment, what they regard as misconduct, is for them as the House of Assembly members to regard as what is misconduct. Then if it is actually misconduct, if he wants to go to court to confirm whether it is or it is not, that is left for him. But it is them to regard what is misconduct, and once they arrive at that and they have the requirements of the Constitution, why not? They can impeach anybody at any time, at anywhere.
In interviews, citizens have urged lawmakers at both state and federal levels to prioritize fairness, transparency, and equity in their legislative duties to restore public trust in governance. Olaide Oloye, Ogtv News.
What if upgrading your TV doesn't mean buying a new one? Unbelievable, right? But with the new Airtel Smart Router, you can now watch YouTube on any TV and also get unlimited data for 30 days to stream thrilling Nollywood movies, catch up on football highlights, and keep your kids engaged with edutainment all on YouTube. With the Airtel Smart Router, everyone gets what they love. Get the Smart Router plus unlimited data for 25,000 Naira. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
In their continual efforts to provide access to education and health care for vulnerable communities, the Anike Titilayo House of Hope Group in the diaspora recently visited Owu Kingdom to retrace their roots and give back to their homeland. Toyi Ogutepe was there, and our report is presented in this package.
In a proactive effort to honor their heritage and contribute to the development of their community, the Anike Titilayo House of Hope Group in the diaspora paid a homage visit to Owu Kingdom. During the event, Olowo of Owu Kingdom, Obasa Kamatemilola, commended the courage and dedication of the diaspora group. He assured them of his unwavering support in their endeavors.
Americans, from the Caribbean, from wherever they have been scattered to, coming back to revisit Africa. It's something that gladdens us because it's something that will be an aspiration for something that we have been working towards. One ambassadors now, because all these ones will be communicating with us, and very soon we are doing Odomolo in America.
Dr. Kenneth Howard, the head of Aneke Titilayo House of Hope Group in the diaspora, emphasized that the visit was not about exploitation, but about giving back to their fatherland and fostering community development.
And where African Americans are returning back to their roots. So that is leading us back home. We've been to Kenya, we've been to Zambia, South Africa, as well as Ghana, and now we're back home here in Nigeria for reciprocity purposes, for us to remember who we are, to learn from the culture, but also to bring our resources back.
Of their homeland.
A team from the Public Complaints Commission, Ogun State, led by its Federal Commissioner, Honorable Morakiyo Akeleye, has paid a courtesy visit to Ogun State Television in a bid to seek for their partnership and synergy at ensuring that social justice expected of the Commission is achieved. Being an organ of the government set up to redress complaints lodged by aggrieved citizens or residents in Nigeria against administrative injustice, Honorable Akeleye says the visit is a necessary one as Ogun State Television remains the official media organ of the state.
Our doors are open. The essence of coming here is to ensure that people are aware, Ogun State people and every listener of Ogtv across the globe, because this is not an online business at Ogtv, the mother of all stations, for the people to know that Public Complaints Commission Ogun State is alive and ready to achieve.
Akeleye further commended the state's television for its wide coverage and timely dissemination of information. Members and leaders of the Ogun State Parks Management have commended the Ogun State Governor, Prince Abeokuta, for his exemplary leadership style, which they say has fostered peace among various transport unions in the state. The union has also called on other transporters to support the government's efforts in driving development. This commendation came from the OGSPAM members and leaders led by the chairman, Alhaji Akim Bodori, after a meeting aimed at addressing issues affecting the operations in Ogun State. Speaking at the meeting, Alhaji Bodori lauded Governor Abeokuta for his exceptional leadership qualities and inclusive approach to governance, which have contributed to the overall development and harmony in the state. The vice chairman of OGSPAM, alongside other union leaders, echoed similar sentiments, pledging the continued support of the members across the state. The promise to uphold the peaceful atmosphere currently enjoyed in all motor parks and terminals. The union leaders also emphasized the need for greater synergy and mutual understanding among transport unions. They urged stakeholders to actively participate to support the current administration's transformation agenda for the state. The air component of Operation Harden Kai has announced an immediate ban on the use of drones, also known as unmanned aerial vehicles, across the northeast region, citing serious security concerns. Air Commander UU Idris, the Air Component Commander of Operation Harden Kai, issued a directive stressing that unauthorized drone operations in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa states pose significant threats to safety and security. Idris expressed concern over the proliferation of drones for domestic and commercial purposes, military targets, and critical national infrastructure, a trend that has been observed globally. The Air Component Commander emphasized that the decision to ban drones aligns with the mandate to regulate area activities in the region and ensure the safety of all airspace users. Next on the news is business news with...
Thank you. Thank you for joining the business segment of the news. The National Bureau of Statistics has reported that Nigeria's inflation rate rose to 34.80% in December, an increase of 5.87 percentage points compared to 28.92% in December 2023. These highlight a continued upward trajectory in consumer prices driven by economic challenges such as currency depreciation, high energy costs, and persistent supply chain disruptions. Nigeria's Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, John Eno, facility do not materialize. Eno stated this in a statement on Wednesday following his visit to the sugar production facility in Cotonou, Benin Republic, which has faced severe decline since the exit of its last managers in May 2023. His visit marked the first time in 1995, underscoring the importance of the venture to both nations. He said the Save Sugar Company, once a significant contributor to the economies of both Nigeria and Benin, has suffered from years of mismanagement and neglect, adding that the situation worsened after the expiration of a 20-year lease agreement with a Chinese company complaint of China in May 2023. The Association of Corporate Affairs Managers of Banks has called for continued dialogue among stakeholders to ensure that bank customers do not suffer as the Nigerian Communications Commission threatened to disconnect banks from telecom companies. Also, the NCC threatened to publicly release the names of 18 banks that have failed to settle their outstanding debts for using mobile network operators on structured supplementary service data platforms. The defaulting banks collectively owe 200 billion naira, and the telecom regulator